This is Michael here. You have found the first exercise of the Practice IT word processing module, and your job is basically to copy the exact same letter exactly as you see it in the book, or in this case you might be just following along and copying what you're seeing here on this video. So let's just go ahead and do that. We start off with date. That's the first thing you have on a letter. Then the second thing you need to do is type in the address after a few spaces or a few lines of blankness. Then we add in a few more lines, as you can see, and then we type in Dear Leanne or Dear whoever the person is. Then we go ahead and we write the full paragraph, all the paragraphs of the letter, as you can see now. So let's just fast forward through this process and we'll see what happens next. This is probably a good time to pause the video and make sure you type everything exactly as you see it. And you'll notice that between each paragraph you've got an extra line, which is important. At the end you sign off as yours sincerely. Obviously make sure you get your spelling correctly. And then you put the name at the end after a few gaps or a few spaces, or a few lines I should say. What are those lines for exactly? Those lines are for the person's signature to go in between the yours sincerely and the name. That's important. Alright, so you've done that. Excuse me. What's the next step? Well, we need to go back in and put in some additional parts to the letter, which is in fact exercise 2. So if you've got this far, you've done part 1 or exercise 1, congratulations. But now we need to go in and put in some extra things, such as our header at the top, or our logo, company logo I suppose. So we're going to put in the Hearing Research Centre logo at the top. We'll just type that in first, and then we're going to change the font size to something a little bigger. Actually, before we do that, we will go in and change the actual font of the header. So let's highlight the header, and then we click on the font type, and if you can't find the font you're looking for, you can go into more fonts, click on that, and you can go in and change in and out the fonts that you like. In this case I'm going to find the one Cambria, because I don't know why Cambria, it's very boring. Actually, it's more because it's very similar to the one in the book and we're trying to replicate the book. Then we will change the font size to 18, and then we will bold the heading and then change the font color. So you can see we just click on the color option there, and then we will center it so that it is centered on the page. And now for a few fiddly little things, such as highlighting the name of the vehicle and italicizing or clicking on the italics button. And also we want to make the price of the car bold as well. Got to look out for these little details when you are copying a document or a letter. Make sure everything's done beautifully. And speaking of doing things beautifully, we need to make sure that we are copying things properly so that it is exactly as required. So let's go back and change the heading to capitals, and let's get the color right as well. Having done that, that looks pretty good. That is basically everything. Congratulations, you've done it.